Hey everybody, my name is Marcella Dominguez. I'm also a trademark lawyer helping you with your online and offline business needs. If you are new here, make sure to hit subscribe because we're going to cover a really great topic today, trademark searches for print-on-demand businesses. You need to watch this video if you are in the business of using Redbubble, Teespring, even Etsy. So join me, let's go do this search. So you want to do a trademark search for your print-on-demand store. Let's start. So you're going to go to test2.uspto.gov. What is so much easier than doing that is just go to Google. You're going to type in trademark search USPTO. Then the first link will say search our trademark database, trademark search system. That might be easier for you than remembering tmsearch.uspto.gov. In any case, you're going to use this empty bar right here to type in whatever it is that you want to register. So let's say, for example, you want to register kindness is cool. So you would type in kindness is cool, and we're going to look at all of these results. There are pages and pages and pages of results. So what does that mean for you? Does that mean that you have to scroll through all of these pages? Why are you getting a result for compassion when you typed in kindness is cool? So I'm glad you are watching this video because a beginner might say, well, I typed in kindness is cool and I got all of these results, but I don't really understand what they mean. Well, you can go over here to search by all and you'll see that you can search kindness is cool by word mark, by goods or services, owner, serial number. Obviously, this is going to be a word mark. So now we're only going to get results for trademark applications that have the word kindness or that have the word cool. So if you're somebody that wants to narrow down the results even further and you have a very good understanding of the trademark classes, like maybe you know that class 25 is for clothing, maybe you know that class 41 can be for services and so can class 45, then maybe you want to click on expert right here, okay, on the top right. And the reason you want to click on expert is because you can further narrow these results by class. So let's say that we want to use kindness is cool in class 25. Well, then we would click class 25 and you're going to see kindness is cool, for example, for class 25 clothing, namely footwear, headwear. But you can see that this is a dead application. If you scroll further down, you will see that some say live and some say live registered. So what does that mean? If it's red and it says dead, then that means that the trademark did not register. It could have become abandoned or canceled for a number of reasons. Either the applicant didn't overcome an office action, maybe they decided to cancel their application, maybe there was a confusion issue with someone else, but nonetheless, this did not register. So if it says live and registered, then that means, of course, it is now a registered trademark. If it just says live, then that means that it is pending with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, but it has not registered yet, and we don't know if it's going to register. So we don't know if they're going to respond to the office action. We don't know if they're going to cancel it. We don't know if they'll have any issues at all. Maybe it'll be smooth sailing, and then it will eventually turn into a registered trademark. Live just means that it was submitted, but we don't really know where it's at unless we dig a little bit deeper. But if you are doing a trademark search for your print-on-demand business, for t-shirts, mugs, then you might want to narrow the results over here on the left side. And the reason that is important is because you will receive results for classes in which you want to register. So for example, do you want to be receiving results for kindness is cool in chiropractic services? Well, no, because that is completely unrelated to the print-on-demand merchandise that you will be selling. Do you want to see results in class 2? And if you're like, well, what is class 2? I don't have all of these classes memorized. Then wait, because I'm going to show you another handy tool. So if you're somebody who needs a refresher on what each of the classes represent or what class 2 means, for example, then you're going to go to Google and you're going to do a search for trademark, goods, and services. And then you will click on goods and services trademarks. Then you're going to scroll down and over here, it's going to say overview of each international class. So if you didn't know what class 2 was, now you know it's for paints. What is class 1? Chemicals. Class 8, hand tools. Now you have a general understanding of what is in each class. So goods are from 1 to 34 and services are from 35 to 45. And as we talked about, most of you are going to be in class 25 because print-on-demand goods mostly fall under clothing, but not always. They can fall into some of these other classes. So it is very important that you check the right boxes. And let me tell you that even though you think you're checking the right boxes, it doesn't always mean that you are. So you could be leaving something out that the trademark examiner thinks is relevant to a search. And then you're going to be SOL if you receive a likelihood of confusion and say it overlaps with something in a services class, but you didn't check the services class because you thought it was irrelevant since you are selling products. So just to give you an example, something that could fall under services would be like an online store selling clothing, mugs, stickers. So that's something that you need to watch out for. And if you need me to do a search for you, then I'd be more than happy to just go ahead and go to the description and send me a message or an email. It's easy and free. So now we're going to go back to our trademark electronic search system. And like I said, you can narrow down the results by any class you want. And now you know that that handy dandy tool exists to get a breakdown of what each of the classes is. Maybe that will give you a better idea of which classes you want to select over here on the left. So back to our example, we wanted to register kindness is cool. For these, it looks like it is abandoned. Now, since I want to use kindness is cool, and I really only see stuff registered for kindness or cool, does that mean that I can use kindness is cool? Well, there is a chance that the trademark examiner might think that there's a likelihood of confusion between kindness is cool and this one right here that's for kindness because it falls under apparel. And I know you're thinking, well, yeah, but this is kindness and mine is kindness is cool. Well, in order for somebody to pass the confusion test, it does not have to be the exact same name. You can fail the confusion test even though I have kindness is cool and this is a registration for kindness because a consumer might be potentially confused about origin or the source of this trademark and the one I want to register. So somebody might confuse kindness and kindness is cool. And they might think that both of them belong to this individual here. What about charming kindness? Well, same thing. I mean, if I'm selling stickers and mine is kindness is cool, I would say this would be less of an issue than this one, but there still is a chance that this one might be an issue too. So are you going to get a definitive answer when you do these trademark searches? No, folks, it's not definitive. There is nothing that's going to flash on the screen that says, do not use this. But you have to use your best judgment after I just told you that it has to pass the confusion test. Now, I know that it's hard to get outside of your own head sometimes, so it's a good idea to confer with an attorney if for whatever reason you're confused. But again, the confusion test says that if a consumer could potentially be confused, then it could fail the confusion test, meaning that your application will not move forward. So you want to choose a very, very, very unique name. And if you want more tips on choosing logos or word marks that have a higher chance of getting registered, then make sure to check out that video right there. It's super important so that you don't waste time or money. So the major take-home point here is you need to ask yourself, am I going to pass the confusion test? This is the whole point of doing a search. This search that I'm teaching you how to do right now, the whole point is that you need to pass the confusion test. So if there's any chance that it would not pass the confusion test, either because you have a similar name to somebody, remember, it doesn't have to be the exact name, it just has to be similar. And they're also in a similar class to the one in which you want to register, then chances are you will not get registered. So if it's the same name or a similar name, then probably not. If it's in a similar class, then chances are even smaller that it'll register. So you have to be really careful because these are things that you have to take into consideration when asking yourself, is it likely to pass the confusion test? So if this video was helpful, make sure to give me a thumbs up. And it would be a great idea if we had all of the bad ideas listed in the comments below so that people could refer to those comments and think twice about what it is they want to sell. Because sometimes you have an idea and then you realize after it's too late that it was a bad idea. But if we can consolidate those bad ideas and put others on notice that they should not be selling those items with a particular name or with a particular logo, then we can direct everyone. And then I will create a video for you guys on all of these bad ideas. So make sure to tell me in the comments below what is a bad idea according to your experience or according to some searches that you've done. And I will also comment and let you know. And please take into account that even if you don't see a big brand name on the trademark database, like let's say you're searching Disney, Hello Kitty, Harry Potter, Taylor Swift, even if you don't see an active registration, chances are there's somebody still scouring the internet on their behalf, looking for people who are using their likeness, their image for commercial purposes. And they don't like when that happens. The third parties that are scouring the internet for people like you profiting off of their name may eventually get taken down, most especially if you are selling on the Etsy platform. So I caution you and I warn you because that isn't the safest way to make money. And if you're in this for the long run, then you want to make sure that you're safe. You don't want to go into this taking a big chance and then your account gets suspended the next day. And if you want to learn more about Etsy suspensions in particular, make sure to check out that video right there.